The first pick in the 2022 NFL Draft is finally in. It's Travon Walker, edge rusher out of Georgia. After a big buildup during the whole day, we finally know that it's Walker. We've got joining us, host of Bleav in Jaguars, Laurie Fitzpatrick. Laurie, how are we feeling right now after that pick?
Pretty good. It was something that we kind of all knew. Something that took a little bit of warming up to, just because of obviously the production in college. But we've all heard it 1,000 times. His role with the Georgia Bulldogs defense wasn't too pass rush. It was a lot of protection from the edge and really just making space for his teammates to kind of get in and finish plays. So it's not really a surprise, and he's a hell of an athlete. So I think Jaguar fans are going to be happy with him.
Ryan, from your perspective, do you think that this was the right move? Was he the best player for them to select in this spot?
I mean, I just think from a practicality perspective, I think I would have still went offensive tackle. Even if you sign Cam Robinson, I am of the belief that in your main asset and your most important asset in the franchise, which is Trevor Lawrence, you need to do everything you can to protect him. So I still think that, Jawan Taylor has not turned into a serviceable right tackle like they would have hoped. They have Walker Little, who had flashes at times, but for me, I would have put some protection around him if I was stuck at this pick. So I don't think it's nothing against Travon necessarily. I just don't honestly think I would have went pass rush to begin with. He has great tools like Laurie illustrated. I mean, you don't teach 6'5", 272, 35.5-inch arms, 4'5", 140, 40-inch vert. Like, the kid can be a fantastic player, but it is a very boomer bust pick for the Jacksonville Jaguars, which is going to make some people uneasy, but he's certainly a talented athlete. And if he hits a ceiling, then he could be maybe the best player in the draft if everything shakes out.
Laurie, do you think that they missed out on drafting an offensive tackle here? Do you think that might have been a mistake for them?
No, so obviously, it's always good to protect your franchise QB, Trevor Lawrence. He's going into his sophomore season, and it's definitely something they want to do. But if you look at his sacks last year, he didn't have that many sacks. He works great inside the pocket. Cam Robinson is actually a pretty good left tackle. They're going to have to get a left guard, but why go with Ike Iwanku or Aquanu when he's going to play guard, and so you're taking a guard number 1 overall? I mean, it's something that you can get a little bit later. I don't think it's that big of a worry for him. I do agree with the Jawan Taylor take, but you can't forget about Walker Little. So he was picked up last year in the draft. He did pretty well when Cam Robinson went out. He played right tackle in college and in high school. It's not going to be that big of a transition for them if they swap out Jawan Taylor for Walker Little. On the defensive side of the ball, they were like bottom in the league in sacks. Not clearly at the bottom, but they were like bottom 10 or bottom 5 in sack production. So they weren't getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. So I do think this is actually going to help Trevor a little bit more than any other pick, just because it wasn't, another pick wouldn't be best need, like, most need. And this pick is, I think the Jaguars play a hybrid defense, like 4-3 and 3-4 defense. And Travon can play the edge in a 3-4 defense, but he can also play it in a 4-3. He's more versatile than, let's say, if they were to get Hutchinson. So I think this really was the way to go. And I'm not upset with it, honestly, at all. I think, I think Travon is he's a stud, and I think he's going to do pretty well. I think he's kind of like a dark horse, and I think it was all or nothing for Jacksonville. So they had to kind of go all the way,
Folks, make sure you check out the Bleav in Jaguars podcast for more analysis on the NFL draft and for insight on next season, hosted by Laurie Fitzpatrick and former Jaguars tight end Clay Harbor.